The story of Thero Rakkhitha. While residing at the Jetwana monastery, the Buddha uttered, with reference to the nephew of Thero Rakkhitha. Once, there lived in Savatthi a senior bhikkhu by the name of Rakkhitha. When his sister gave birth to a son, she named the child after the Thera, and he came to be known as Rakkhitha Bhagineya. The nephew Rakkhitha, in due course, was admitted into the order. While the young bhikkhu was staying in a village monastery, he was offered 2 sets of robes, and he intended to offer one to his uncle, the Thera. At the end of the vasa, he went to his uncle to pay respect to him and offered the robe to the Thera. But the uncle declined to accept the robe, saying that he had enough. Although he repeated his request, the Thera would not accept. The young bhikkhu felt disheartened and thought that since his uncle was so unwilling to share the requisites with him, it would be better for him to leave the order and live the life of a layman. From that point, his mind wandered and a train of thoughts followed. He thought that after leaving the order he would sell the robe and buy a she-goat. That she-goat would breed quickly and soon he would make enough money to enable him to marry. His wife would give birth to a son. He would take his wife and child in a small cart to visit his uncle at the monastery. On the way, he would say that he would carry the child. She would tell him to drive the cart and not to bother about the child. He would insist and grab the child from her. Between them, the child would drop on the car track and the wheel would pass over the child. He would get so furious with his wife that he would strike her with the goading stick. At that time, he was fanning the Thera with a palmyra fan, and he absent-mindedly struck the head of the Thera with the fan. The Thera, knowing the thoughts of the young bhikkhu, said, "You are unable to beat your wife. Why have you beaten an old bhikkhu?" Young Rakkhitha was very much surprised and embarrassed at the words of the old bhikkhu. He also became extremely frightened. So he fled. Young bhikkhus and novices of the monastery chased him and finally took him to the presence of the Buddha. When told about the whole episode, the Buddha said that the mind has the ability to think of an object even though it might be far away, and that one should strive hard for liberation from the bondage of passion, ill will, and ignorance. Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. The mind wanders far and moves about alone. It is non-material. It lies in the cave, chamber, of the heart. Those who control their mind will be free from the bonds of Mara.
Thank you for watching. Buddha bless you. Stay blessed.